Yo, happy holidays, y'all. Welcome. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, all that stuff. And obviously, I am aware they're on different days, but just showing love to all the different, belief systems and all that stuff out there. Happy holidays, guys. Thanks for joining us on the channel for this thing, man. I got my girl Steph here from the Final Girlz, and we're not talking horror this time. We're not talking anime. We're going to be talking about, that's right, a Christmas classic, and I'm talking about Yippee-Ki-Yay.
Motherfuckers.
That's right. Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and it's my Christmas movie. It's all of our Christmas movies. Bruce Willis in his prime, July 22nd, 1988. It hit theaters, man, and changed freaking his whole career, changed the landscape of action movies, and made action heroes much more grounded, much more realistic. John McClane's getting his ass beat in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you had just actors and directors in their prime. Come on, man. You talk about the great Alan Rickman, rest in peace. We ain't talking Professor Snape. I'm talking about Hans Gruber, the best freaking villain in any action movie of all time. And he's got a sick ass haircut.
So. I do have to admit though that when they were showing him on the screen, like their little news shot of him, I'm like, that's not him. That's Chuck Norris.
It does look a little.
If you go back, it looked like Chuck Norris.
Damn, imagine they used a picture of Chuck Norris because they didn't have him cast yet.
Right.
Freaking Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It's the Norris.
Yeah, and Hans would have won if he had been Chuck Norris. So
exactly, dude. Exactly. He wouldn't have fell off a building. You know what I'm saying? And then you had Reginald Johnson from Family Matters. All my freaking Gen X and '90s kids remember that.
I was super excited to see Officer Winslow.
Get to see some acting chops from that guy. Some real good
exactly.
stuff. Paul Gleason is the dumb cop. That guy was what was the principal in freaking what was that, Breakfast Club? I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he was always playing an asshole and everything like that.
Yeah, he was a grade A asshole in this one too.
A asshole, and this was directed by John McTiernan. That guy's made so many kick-ass action movies. Some of my favorites: Predator from '87, Last Action Hero, Die Hard 3. He actually came back, Die Hard with a Vengeance, where they introduced Samuel Jackson to the world in that one, where he was kind of one of his first big movie roles. And for those that don't know, Samuel Jackson is my favorite actor of all time. So that's another fun fact. But he's not in this movie, so we're not going to be talking about Sam L, man, but pretty much getting into Die Hard, I can talk about it all damn day. So I'm gonna want Steph
then
to get
if you're a Samuel L. Jackson fan, we're gonna have to do Afro Samurai in our anime.
Oh damn, that'd be sick.
During our anime quest.
That was like one of the first animes I watched besides Dragon Ball too. Crazy, long time ago. Early internet torrents.
Sorry to
hey man,
go
there's one thing Phantom Frequency is known for, and that's tangents. That's what we specialize in around here. For reals though. But let's have some of the most epic conversations that way. But pretty much I want to get into her perspective as the new gal on the block here watching Die Hard for the first time about a week ago. Obviously you had to heard the hype. You've heard the hype,
Of course.
Forever.
All the years everybody was like, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. And I'm like, okay, well I won't argue with you because I haven't seen it yet.
And I have arguments built up, dude. I got a whole lawyer case built up.
But I actually went and they were doing a screening of it for the holidays at my local AMC, so I went ahead and saw it in the theater.
So rad, dude. I always wanted to see this in the big screen, man. So cool. And I bet the effects all hold up too.
It was, well, I will admit, seeing this one on the big screen, it was like interesting. Well, a lot of things it was a little grainy, but you have to think of the time. And then it was funny because as they were rolling into LA and stuff like that, you could see it was either like a really smoggy day or something, because the sky it's funny. It's just you could see the coloration and everything else from
exactly.
You could see seeing it on the big screen. It made it so much more obvious how dated the movie was.
I can see that.
But the acting and the action and everything else, the storyline, I feel holds up till today.
Oh, for sure.
Dude. Yeah.
For sure, man. I still feel like this is more unique than most action movies still to this day, because you have people like John McClane's wife actually helping out win the day without having to be some badass fighting person. She actually helps him get the win over.
Well, she did it kind of logically.
Yeah.
Versus, and unlike her coworker that
Blue Bee. I'm your white knight. That guy. He got his for sure.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I mean, like, had you ever seen like any scenes from the movie, like clips and stuff like that?
No.
Yeah, so you never seen like Han Hoover
Any
falling off the
of it.
building?
No,
Dang.
I had never seen any of it. So, it was a treat and it was fun. I actually really enjoyed it. Like I said, I watched it at home and then I wanted to be kind of up on it
Yeah.
again, and I just went in because I'm like, it was like one of those nights I go to the movies a lot, so I was like, I feel like going to the movies tonight. I wonder what's playing, and I looked and I saw it was playing, so I was like, you know what? Let me go get this experience.
Hell yeah.
So I went and took myself to go see
Hell yeah.
it, and
That's
it
what you
was.
do. You go see
Mhm.
freaking classics like Die Hard.
Yeah, so that was actually my second time watching it in less than 2 weeks.
Hell yeah. That was the same thing for me, dude. I watched it like a handful of years ago for the first time, like around Christmas, and I was like, this shit is rad. I watched
Yeah.
it right after New Year's again, and then I dived into the whole franchise from there. Die Hard
Yeah.
5 sucks. But that's a
Ah!
conversation for another day. But it's a good franchise,
So
man.
see, I have yet to dive further into the franchise
4 out of 5.
since
Not
I'm
bad.
still new to it. So,
Yeah.
but it
Two
was
is good.
fun.
Two's good.
I actually enjoyed it. I thought, and yes, it is a Christmas movie. There were trees in it.
Dude,
There was a Christmas party.
it's a Christmas song that opens the movie. It's Run DMC.
Run DMC.
Come on, dude. They have Christmas decorations.
Mhm.
Ho, ho, ho. They do all that shit. There's Christmas stuff
Exactly.
all throughout the goddamn movie.
I have a machine gun now.
Exactly.
Ho ho ho.
Exactly, dude. Like there's so much, and he's going over there specifically for the holidays.
Yeah.
He's on vacation
Yeah.
from his detective
Well,
job
I am
in
glad to
New
see
York.
that the teddy bear survived.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Damn. Pretty crazy. One
In
of
the
few.
in the back seat of Argyle's
Oh, my
limousine.
man Argyle, dude. Yeah, the craziest night of his life, man.
Oh, he didn't even. He was oblivious until
For most of the time.
through the majority of it.
Oh, it's so hilarious, dude. I was like, that
Whenever
totally
they
plays.
flash back to him, he was just, yeah, baby, blah, 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 listening, has music playing,
And it makes sense because A, it's soundproof in there. B, they didn't have cell phones, they didn't have internet, so you didn't get news spread to you within seconds.
Absolutely.
They had to like McLean and them were blowing up shit before people started realizing what was going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that element. And then the whole like paparazzi coming in and fucking up stuff. I was like, that's true. That plays today even more.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And yeah, and cops was not knowing what to do. I've seen that. They literally had my school on shutdown, and it was like hours, and they're like, "Oh, dude." There's just some guy that escaped the mental facility but didn't hurt anybody.
Oh wow, how scary!
Exactly, but they act like it was like Michael Myers status already, and I was like, dude, just tranquilize him or something.
Just get him.
Get him. But one thing I definitely want to highlight is just the effortlessness that Bruce Willis brought to this role.
Oh yeah,
he's so charismatic, so badass, but believable at the same time. And I like how he's using his logic to try to one up these guys and these terrorists and whatnot, and trying to like win the day and all this stuff. And he gets his ass beat,
and his feet too,
running through glass, dude. I was like, oh, it's so gnarly.
Tarantino would have loved this.
I know, for reals. Well, actually, women feet.
Yeah, yes.
There's wasn't any women feet.
This is true. This is true. I did have to laugh too because there were a couple of parts where it was just like unnecessary boobies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I could understand the girl that was getting it on with her coworker in the one room.
Yeah.
But then like they're in like some like one of the stairwells or something like that, and there's like a naked picture of the girl on the thing, and I think he actually stopped and kind of patted it and ran
on. It's the 80s, man. It's the 80s.
And I'm just like, there was absolutely no reason for
for
that to be there at all.
It's the 80s, man. And it's crazy because you have Gen Z kids today that are like, we don't want sex in movies. I'm like, man, calm down.
There's nothing wrong with sex in movies.
Down, it was good times. It was good fun. Now,
sex is always good fun.
Now,
I mean,
now I get the R word and things like that. But I'm like, come on, man, a little TNA ain't gonna hurt you. That's one thing I actually appreciated about some of the horror flicks this year. There was actually some cool movies that actually had nudity in it, where it went with the story.
Yeah,
and it kind of gave you that 80s schlocky kind of feel. Terrifier did the same thing, which was one thing.
Oh, see, I haven't seen Terrifier yet.
Oh my god,
we haven't gotten there yet. I'm scared.
Here's the thing. Like I said, I'm not the producer of the show. You gotta let Pride know. You gotta do 1 and 2 leading up to 3. You got to.
Okay.
The numbers are gonna go through the roof. You guys reacting to that goes through the roof. I'm telling you. Because do you know the crazy?
We will have to talk to the producer god.
Yeah, like You guys got to do it. I'm telling you.
Mhm.
I really think it would be amazing views. Now, I would say if anyone's squeamish though, don't watch it.
Oh, we're all squeamish.
All right, it's like
We
sick.
we're
Like you might
are
get
we're
sick.
we already know that once we get into Terrifier, we're going into
No.
torture porn.
Yes, because it's like it is like that. It's like Saw, but
Oof,
slasher
I'm not ready
style.
for that one either.
It's like Saw but slasher. Like it's
Oh,
crazy.
we haven't done that either.
Oh man.
We have not gotten into Saw, but I'm sure it's coming.
To be honest with you, if you guys were to go through the franchise by the third, fourth movie, you'd be pretty like okay.
Okay, look, blood.
Because they just amplify it every time. So I feel like you just get kind of like okay, more torturing. But that's talking for another day. But when it comes to this thing here, man, with the violence and all that stuff, I actually love how it's actually pretty freaking violent. But it's not like they're pulling any punches, but it's not excessively gory or
no. But I
bloody.
will admit though, I as a makeup artist
Mhm.
and someone who's worked in like the effects, I did appreciate actually the way it looked with the glass in his feet and
Looked real.
yeah, it looked good. And then like how the blood was actually trailing behind him.
Yep.
They didn't skimp on it.
I've seen that with plenty of other movies, man.
Yeah, and the fact that he did not lose his limp. Even when
Oh,
the
right.
adrenaline was going through him and everything else, he was still watching how he was running on his feet.
Yeah, man. John McTiernan, dude.
Yeah,
That guy.
so I mean, kudos to Bruce Willis, kudos to the people directing him, yeah.
I was watching
Because
some
I
behind
pay
the scenes
attention to
thing.
that stuff.
Yeah.
He wasn't running around in Prada shoes from dinosaurs.
Dude.
Dino-
Like, if I was Bryce Dallas Howard, I'd have to put my foot down. Like, hey, look, all right? No woman on the planet's going to run from anything in these things. Like, just let me take them off, dude.
Well, I was waiting for him to at least sink in the dirt.
Or break.
Or break.
I'm like, does Colin Trevorrow have like a heel fetish or something?
I'm convinced I need a pair of Pradas.
Hey, man. What you gonna do, man? I'm not spending Prada money on nothing. Nothing. All right? I got this thing for like $20. Employee discount. Only reason why I bought it. Yeah. Gotta love those 9 to 5s. But yeah, man. But just the overall, I love the gunplay and the violence in here.
Yeah.
With the twin brothers that, or not twin brothers, but the brothers that Bruce Willis ends up fighting, or John McClane ends up fighting throughout the movie when he kills the younger one, and then the older one with the longer hair. Looks like he came out of like WWF in the 90s.
The one that he gets with the chain around his neck. Yeah.
Super sick.
Oof.
Gave me Friday the 13th 09 vibes, even though this came out first. But yeah, man, it was just so rad, and I love all the actual attention to detail with the gunshots too. I thought was really good. Like they don't have endless ammo. Like McClane's like, oh shit, I gotta get more stuff. It reminded me of like being in a video game or something like that. Like just the attention to detail with this movie is so amazing. Yeah. I was watching behind the scenes on Netflix, the movies that made us, and they were talking about this movie. Came out a few years ago, and they really did pay a lot of attention to it. And John McTiernan and them really took this movie very seriously. And even though it's really fun and there's a lot of humor and it's a really well paced, upbeat movie, they really did take this seriously. And I think that's why this movie is so awesome and stands the test of time, because they wanted to make it that good. And I think that's something that we're missing today with all genres. I think horrors. I think you get a little more ambition in horror right now than some other genres, but I think Hollywood's starting to get a little lazy, starting to be like, we're not going to put that kind of effort into it, where some of these movies aren't going to age very well, where I think some more modern movies where they take the time to do so, it does make a stand. Or something like Terrifier, where they're just trying to push the envelope. That's another thing. And even a lot of these effects and explosions and stuff at that time looks excellent.
They actually looked really good.
Yeah. Like
they looked really good.
Really good, because I've seen some movies from like 99 that look like shit. So, you know what I mean? Like Godzilla 99, like that looks terrible.
Yeah.
Like terrible. Like, man, it is absolutely terrible. And one thing I want to get into as well, not just the action, but the overall acting from everyone across the board. Excellent. Bruce Willis versus Alan Rickman in those scenes, like the one where Hans Gruber's pretending to be American and almost gets the upper hand on him. So good, bro. Like you literally see dude do like an acting masterclass.
I thought that was a great part where he shares the cigarettes with them, and
it was cool because it was almost like if they met in an alternate reality, they could almost be cool with each other.
They would have been friends.
You know what I'm saying? And I like that with movies where the villain and the hero kind of can kind of like match perspective a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you're just doing too much crazy shit for me to be cool with you. But I liked that they almost had like a respect for each other after that moment. And he's like, all right, cowboy, we'll see what you got on this one, man. And I just love that whole element to it, and the way that Hans Gruber was such a smart villain without being so smart, where he got away with everything to the very end.
Yeah.
To me, it felt very natural that that situation ended up the way it did, and he fell off the building. To me, it was just such a gnarly, definitive death too. Like,
Ooh, and I do actually like the fact that it was death by that Rolex
exactly.
that was given to her at the
Exactly, exactly, dude. It's just a great what do they call that, callback, and
Yeah,
everything just builds to something, man.
because 'cause they're like, "Show him your watch." "It's a Rolex."
Yeah,
"It's a
exactly, dude.
Rolex."
And then freaking my man Reginald Vell Johnson I mentioned earlier as the Sergeant Hal
Mhm.
Powell that's really out there fighting for John McClane, trying to help him out throughout the whole thing. I love his character arc, and to me, he was like that could have been like its own movie,
Yeah.
where he's like, "Oh man, I can't pull my gun out. I did and shot this kid on accident." And it really sat with me. And to me, I'm like, wow, that really plays today with all these crazy
Yeah.
things going on.
And it's crazy though too, because even with that, he still pulled the gun out to save
To save
him.
John at the end because he
Yeah.
knew it was absolutely necessary. And I was like, I love that moment though, man,
Mhm.
because it was like you didn't see it coming either. Like you almost kind of forgot about it,
Mhm.
but it plays into his character so well, and him like being able to be like, how do you like? What do you mean we can't trust the guy? There's no way a cop wouldn't. Only a cop would be able
Mhm.
to say these things or be able to approach the situation this way. And when you got Paul Gleason's dumbass over here fucking up the whole situation,
Oh god,
and those
yeah. He
other
was
two
pissing me
detectives in
off
the
so bad.
helicopter, who I like those two in the helicopter, they were
Oh, the
funny.
Johnsons.
Yeah, the Johnsons. There you go.
And
Those were
Johnson and
funny, man.
Agent Johnson and Johnson.
To me, it felt like Tarantino almost pulled like the Jules Winfield, Vincent Vega kind of dynamic from those two. We're back. Technical difficulties, of course. Y'all know the deal. But I was about to bring up my main man, Clarence Gilliard, as the character Theo, who was like the computer hack guy that was
Mhm.
working with all the terrorist dudes under Hans Gruber and everything like that. And this one's going to go completely over a lot of y'all's heads, probably yours, maybe yours too. But there was a show with the great Chuck Norris back in the day called Walker, Texas Ranger. They
Oh, my
even did a
mom
recent
used to
version.
watch that.
Yeah, my pops was a
My
huge
my
fan of
mom was
that.
a huge Texas
Yep.
Ranger fan.
My dad's
I
the same
knew I
way.
had seen him somewhere, and it was
See?
driving me nuts because I'm like, "Where have I seen this guy?"
That's
Okay.
him. That's him, man.
Okay.
And hopefully I can find some cool footage. But yeah, man, he was
So
his
no,
right hand
don't
man in there.
underestimate things going over my head
All right,
again.
all right, all right. Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, man, and for all you millennials and you Gen Zers out there, you probably don't know, but y'all know Chuck Norris from the jokes. It was a TV series that ran for a long time. They just did a remake of it with Jared Padalecki from Supernatural and the Friday 13th remake.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so it's a whole southern set cop procedural, I guess you could say. And my man Clarence Gilliard, he was the co-lead with Chuck Norris in there, and he's a really good actor. And this shows his range because I'd never seen him
Mhm.
play something like this unhinged or this like villainous, and he does a really good job, dude. Like he's
Yeah.
not too over the top where he's like a goofy villain, but I like that he's like a more like he is a goofy villain, but he's still like it still plays well, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
And I
like
like
when
that he's
he's
intelligent and not stupid, but he's just like crazy.
in there just like humming to himself as he's
Yeah, how many Christmas songs and shit.
Yeah.
He is toast. Like just super good stuff, man, with that guy. And I just wanted to give him a shout out because many times people bring this movie up, they don't bring him up. And I get it. He's not necessarily an A-list actor or anything like that. I also want to give Bonnie Bedella a lot of love too as John McClane's wife. I absolutely loved her in the first two Die
Yeah.
Hard movies, man. Overall, even though obviously we're just talking about one right now, and I thought she was just really good, man. Like just totally going back and forth with Alan Rickman, and to me, him being one of the best actors of our time, I think she just did such a great
Well, it
job with
was
that.
nice too, that, they depicted her as being intelligent and
Yep,
yeah, and she was logical.
exactly.
And she didn't think too much with like more the emotional side of it. She went in there headstrong, like
Okay, John might be gone, but I got to get these people out of here.
yeah.
And that's the thing I liked with the story, and where sometimes these days, when it comes to, sometimes movies can kind of pander to do that. Like, we got to make people want strong female leads, so we got to just force this girl to be the lead just
Yeah.
because. It's like, no, like, just let it be
No, it's like
organic.
it was kind of cool cuz she was still strong, but she didn't have to show out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she matched with John McClane. Like, a woman like
Mhm.
that would be who John McClane would have to be with. He wouldn't be with
Mhm.
some weak, like, like girl like that. Like, I feel like this is the
No.
kind of woman that John McClane would be with. And I like their back and forth. Like, she doesn't take his shit from him, and I think it just plays really, really well. And she just has great chemistry
Absolutely.
with Bruce Willis. And I thought they felt like a real married couple that were going through something.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I
Absolutely.
was gonna say, I was like, you might relate to that more than I, because I have not been married yet. But yeah, man, like it's good stuff, and it's just really awesome, dude. And like I said, I already gave him a shout out earlier, but Alan Rickman, absolutely loved him in this movie. And even though I do like him as Snape a little bit more, I'm a Harry Potter kid. He was just great in this movie, man, and it really showed the power of his acting. And he wasn't a known name at the time.
Exactly.
So within like 20-some years, he really became like a huge actor. And he was also in Dogma, which we were talking about off camera.
Yeah,
so,
while we were trying to get our technical difficulties back.
But yeah, man. So full disclosure, my computer's about to die. We're running out of time. Time's running out.
Come on, computer, hang in there.
I know, for real, man.
I did think it was. I did think it was hilarious though how the beginning of the movie, when you see him noticing like every single woman that's like walking past him, he's like, hey. Hey.
So shit, I might like it down here. I might have to move down here, man.
Yeah, like even in the office when the girl is in the other one from across the other building, and he's just like, hey, okay.
That's the way us men are. Okay? No one's doing anything. No one's cheating, but hey, we looking, man. The radar's always on.
As long as you're not touching, right? Exactly.
The radar's on. That's how we work. That's how we operate. And that's what I love about the movie, man. And one last thing too, just overall with Bruce Willis, I love how he was just a much more realistic action hero. He didn't have all the machismo of like the Stallone, Schwarzenegger type super buff characters. Just felt like a dude that was able to get the job done and got a little bit lucky at the same time.
Yeah.
And the whole epic hose moment with him jumping off the explosion, super sick shit.
Oh, when he's sitting there doing like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
So good, man. Like, there's just so many great freaking iconic moments in the movie. So well done. It's a freaking classic.
I will admit, I jumped. I squirmed, and it got me even the second time watching it. The elevator scene when he's on top of the elevator, and I thought he was about to get squished. I'm just like, oh.
Yep. Good.
That part did get me.
So good,
man. That got me.
John McTiernan at his height. So well directed, man. And I want to also give a shout out to the score. Man, damn it. I'm forgetting the guy's name. What's wrong with me? It's the guy that did the score for Back to the Future, Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, and he also did... I can't remember his name. I'm not doing it here later, but another great score from that composer. One of the best of all time, in my opinion.
It was really well done.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, freaking Die Hard. Gotta love it. Always going to be one of the best Christmas movies out there for all time. Home Alone not included because that's the best. But, hell yeah.
Elf. We're going to fight.
I'm about to start screaming like, I can't get with it, man. I can't get with it. But that's a topic for another day. But I want to hear from all of y'all out there. Let us know what you thought about Die Hard. Is it your favorite Christmas movie? Is it not a Christmas movie? Where does it rank in your action movies? Do you miss Bruce Willis in film as much as we do? Because I sure as hell do. He's such a great actor. But, got to take care of yourself. You got to do what you got to do. He had a great run.
Get better.
Hell yeah. Hey, who knows? Maybe he'll get better. Technology will be able to fix the problem, you know what I'm saying? But shouts out to him. Rest in peace to Alan Rickman once again. And shouts to his family. Always going to be a legend in the game. Much love to John McTiernan. Don't mention him a lot these days, but he's great. And go check out that Netflix, The Movies That Made Us. You can get a lot of really cool behind-the-scenes facts as well. But yeah, man, pretty cool. It's freaking Christmas. Go hang out with your fam. Eat some good dinner. Have a couple drinks. Open up some presents. Drink some eggnog. Get your grandma ran over by a reindeer. Whatever you got to do. And make sure you're having fun out there. We're going to be seeing a lot more of you guys getting into this new year. Me and Steph got much more content planned as well. Me and the other guys on the channel got some stuff going. We're going to be doing new things, and we're going to be trying a lot of new stuff. In 2024, we're just going to double down and just keep doing what we love and having fun. So, I mean, that's the main thing. I love and appreciate all of you. Make sure you stay safe out there for your holiday season. Go check out the Final Girlz on YouTube. The Final Girlz with a Z. They do reactions and skits to horror.
And we just put out a really sexy calendar.
Oh, yeah. Go pick up the calendar, man. Don't be an incel. Pick up the calendar. Just do it, man. I'm about to get myself one. But that's it for us, guys. Thanks for checking us out and sticking with us to the end. We're going to catch you again real soon. We'll see you throughout the new year for all the top 10 lists and all that other shit. Yeah. But until then, yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Peace.